WNBA rumors are rife right now, and this could be the moment they broke. Fans witnessed a savage attack on Caitlin Clark by Jacy Sheldon and Marina Mabrey, which resulted in an eye poke, a full-on shove, and no protection for the league's top player. However, here's the twist. The commissioner, Cathy Engelbert, opened her eyes at last.
So lads, today the referees gave the report on the situation, and it's even worse. It's even worse than I imagined, and it was pretty grim.
After remaining silent for weeks, she is now rushing to put an end to the chaos. Is it fan backlash, media pressure, or the league's attempt to preserve its reputation? Either way, something is wrong, and the internet is already calling it too little, too late. The league now takes notice after Caitlin Clark is insulted, slammed, and poked on national television. And suspensions are being issued. Could be the WNBA's way of saying, oops, we're bad. Okay, let's go back to the fourth quarter. The game is tight, the tempo is increasing, and the emotions are high. Caitlin Clark cuts through the lane as usual, her eyes set on the defense. And then, all of a sudden, Jacy Sheldon just snatches her right in the eye. Can actually see Clark flinch and grab her face right away. The problem is that this wasn't an accident or incidental contact. There was no attempt at the ball, it looked personal. Instead of backing off, Sheldon gives her a hard bump on the chest, again without the ball being in play. This is intimidation, not defense. With full body momentum, Marina Mabrey suddenly charges in like she's playing linebacker and pushes Clark to the ground into the referee. How is that not an instant flagrant 2? Why was Caitlin the one who received a technical? Clark does what anyone would do. She tries to push off and create space. She's not trying to start anything. She's just trying to finish the game. Let's take a moment to discuss the officials, because to be honest, this whole situation got out of hand the moment they made a poor call. It's as if they were watching a separate game. Since the league acknowledged that Jacy Sheldon had struck Clark in the face with a wind-up, and that the contact was needless and may cause harm, which is exactly what a flagrant is for, why did they issue her one and then Marina Mabrey? The league stated, quote, "It didn't rise to the level of ejection. Her shove was crazy. It happened after the whistle when Caitlin was defenseless and she was holding her eye. She sent her tumbling into a referee. Pardon me."
To the face. The three of them that is a flagrant 2. By definition, you've described a flagrant 2. Unnecessary contact. Wind up and unnecessary. The two of those can be a flagrant 2. And face. You have described why was it a flagrant 2. You have just described a flagrant 2 as your answer for why it was upgraded to a flagrant 1. You have just described the flagrant 2. What went into deciding Marina Mabrey should get a technical foul instead of something more severe? The contact made by Mabrey did not rise to the level of an ejection. Additionally, it did not meet the criteria for flagrant penalty 2. Like what exactly, did not rise to the level of an ejection? I'm sorry, what? Did she have to have, for it to be a level of an ejection, did she have to injure Caitlin, or did she have to injure the referee? She almost went through the ref's knee, by the way.
What exactly be the icing on the cake? What exactly must someone do to be kicked out of the WNBA? Send someone to the hospital. This wasn't just poor officiating, it was dangerous. Within minutes of the final whistle, clips were going viral online, including slow-motion replays, breakdown videos, zooms on the eye poke, freeze frames of the shove, and more. Caitlin Clark received a tech for reacting by holding her face in an attempt to prevent her from fighting back. The comment sections, they were on fire. And the fans weren't just angry. They were furious. Everyone from casual viewers to ardent WNBA supporters was wondering why no one was defending Caitlin Clark. Wasn't the first time she had been trash-talked, shoved, and targeted. However, this time it hit differently because the entire incident was captured on camera, and it was so ugly that NBA players began tweeting about it. Before you knew it, the WNBA couldn't keep silent now. At that point, Jacy Sheldon and Marina Mabrey were both suspended. The question is, though, would the league have taken any action if the internet hadn't gone crazy? Or would have been ignored like every other time who remained utterly silent while all of this chaos was occurring? Indeed, Cathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, is the one who should lead and speak with reason while the league is in crisis. But crickets, there was silence when Caitlin Clark was elbowed in the face and silence when she was slammed to the ground. It seemed as though Cathy was on vacation during the league's fire. But after social media went crazy, after ESPN repeatedly played the eye poke after fans began yelling, "Protect Clark," Cathy abruptly woke up and wanted to appear as though she cared. She is now making statements, reviewing footage, and suspending people. Where was all that energy when it happened? Actually, it seems like she's more of a firefighter attempting to put out fires that she allowed to burn for far too long than a commissioner. This isn't leadership. It's PR panic mode, and the players and fans can see right through it. Let's face it, since Caitlin Clark most likely rolled her eyes when she read that comment. The true question is whether Cathy genuinely cares or whether she's merely attempting to hide the catastrophe she allowed to occur. Let's now discuss the one individual who did stand up during the game. When the referees refused to protect Caitlin and the league was sleeping, Sophie Cunningham said enough late in the game and went straight at Jacy Sheldon. I mean straight. At her, it wasn't dirty or reckless. It was a message that if you mess with Caitlin, you mess with me. Sophie was ejected to be sure, but let's be honest, she earned her stripes that night. She had her back, and guess what? No one touched Clark for the remainder of the game. Sometimes someone has to draw a line in the sand, and Sophie did just that. Whether or not she is the story's hero is debatable, but she most definitely wasn't the villain. This whole situation serves as a wake-up call for the WNBA as a whole, not just the referees. Because what are we doing here if you can't protect your biggest star? In addition to being a fantastic athlete, Caitlin Clark is the reason that stadiums, our packed jerseys are selling out, and television ratings are rising. She is being treated like a punching bag despite altering the league. The league's reputation is currently on the line. So what happens next? Will they start taking protection seriously? Or will this just be another headline that fades in a week? Let me be clear. The fans are not stupid. They saw the eye poke. They saw the shove, and they saw the league wait until the internet forced their hand. This isn't about favoritism. It's about safety, respect, and keeping the game fair and clean. Fans of opposing teams are also saying that this went too far because at the end of the day, we all want a league where the best players can shine without being targeted. You can be physical and play tough defense, but when you're poking eyes and tackling players off the ball, that's not hoop. That's nonsense. Fans are speaking louder than ever now, calling for the protection of Clark and boycotting games. Fans are calling for improvements. Let's discuss the worst-case situation. What if the league fails to address this? What if Clark is hacked in her subsequent game? Another egregious instance, another cheesy attempt. Another referee is watching. And eventually, Clark will say, enough. She has options for endorsements abroad, and the league needs her more than she needs the league. If she ever decides to leave, it would be disastrous because you would lose relevance in terms of ticket sales and viewership. If you're the WNBA, you had better pay attention. Because every young girl who watches Caitlin Clark and wonders that how they treat stars in this league is affected by this, not just one player. This wasn't just a suspension, and it wasn't just another difficult game either. Rather, it was a major turning point that might affect the league as a whole. Going forward, Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham had to intervene and defend the WNBA's next-generation face when she was openly assaulted on live television. This wasn't an isolated incident. It revealed everything that has been simmering beneath the surface, including the poor officiating, the top official's silence, and the disrespect directed at the one player who has generated more fan views and ticket sales than the league has seen in years. However, perhaps this is the wake-up call the WNBA sorely needed. If no one else, the officials, or the league, were taking any action, the officials lost control. The league panicked, and fans, made their voices heard. Now that people are paying attention, the referees are calling it fair. And the league has finally realized that you can't just let your stars get jumped and expect everything to be fine because, let's face it, you can't build your league's future while watching your biggest draw get slammed in the face, pushed to the ground, and blamed for it. This whole situation doesn't make you say, do better. I don't know what the WNBA is doing. Caitlin Clark has attacked the middle, the referees lose their minds, and the league waits until the internet blows up before taking any action. For example, after being attacked by the entire basketball community, Kathy Engelbert finally decides to take action. Come on, that's not leadership. It's damage control with a dash of phony urgency. But the fans aren't stupid. We saw it, we felt it, and we're not letting it go because this league cannot continue to treat its biggest star like that if it hopes to grow and be taken seriously. She is expendable.